I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:30. This is a special meeting of the Traffic Safety Committee. We don't have much public, so I'm not going to call for public comment. New business, crosswalk on 102. Sean, do you want to address that?
Yes, we received an inquiry in our online system from a, let me just get her name here real quick. Crystal Slawinski, requesting the town to consider crosswalks along Route 102. The concern is to allow pedestrians and bicyclists to safe way to cross Route 102. The town of Londonderry growing before us, could we provide a safe way for a healthier alternative of walking and biking? Would this change potentially help decrease the amount of vehicles and buses, add a pedestrian crosswalk along 102 for our growing community as well as the businesses, allowing all residents the ability to walk or bike versus the need for vehicles with safety in mind? And that was submitted on August 4th of this year.
And where that's kind of outside the auspice of this committee, what are you looking for us to do?
So this was originally sent to the town council for consideration, and then it was transferred down to the Traffic Safety Committee to provide any comment it wished to the town council before it decides to act on the matter. So that's why it's before you now.
Anybody want to speak to it?
I strongly recommend it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I've seen people like trying to cross from Hampton, going across 102, going to Market Basket, whatever, Wendy's.
Well, there's one kid from Market Basket who'll be very happy about it. He's kind of has a tough time walking, and I see him going across. It takes him about 10 minutes to make it across, and he's really hopping when he moves,
Yeah.
so I'm all for it.
It's gonna be very challenging, you know, where 102 is a state road, and again, anything we do out there is gonna need, you know, state approval to do that.
Right.
You know, and like we're saying, you know, the easterly end of 102, we're talking like 9 lanes of traffic. So we're talking over 100 feet from curb to curb. You know, again, just kind of thinking of the obstacles, because people have asked me in the past, and I've told them, oh, it's a state road. You know, again, and also, where are they going? Because that's what the state always will say though, too. So where is there existing sidewalks out there? Where are they coming from? Are they parking at home in Market Basket parking lot and jumping on their bikes or walking, you know?
Well, we're adding a whole bunch of new development off of Gilchrist.
Yep.
And we're trying to be more walkable. And that road is not walkable.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, and even just real estate though, too, Fred. You know, like I say, it'll be challenging. There's no question about it. You know, and then when you start adding sidewalks, then you start needing to deal with the drainage. 102 is most of it is open drainage out there.
So, John, when the state does that, puts the lights up there on 102,
Yeah,
why don't they put a crosswalk across 102 at that time with the lights?
my understanding is because it wasn't requested of them. So back at exit 5, Dan, they built those sidewalks. They had asked the town at that time, and the town said, don't build them. We don't have the power to, the man and the machinery, the money. And again, it slipped by the PM, because when I saw him starting to build it, he says, Peter, you don't remember? We said no. And again, it had come through town manager. It wasn't me that made the decision. The discussion was held. So, and again, Dan, you know, and even just the equipment in the cabinets that runs all that would need to be upgraded as well.
I don't think there'll be any problem to have the Traffic Safety Committee vote to have this put before the town council, but the problems that I see, and this has come up a number of times in the past, and it's been shot down by the state, is who pays for the crosswalks, the changes on the lights, because if you're having crosswalks, I would assume you're gonna have to have lights, and you're gonna have to have buttons to push to make them change. And how much is the town gonna be into it? And if the town's gonna have to be picking up some share of it, essentially, I would assume it would be part of the town meeting. So I'm gonna call for a vote for the Traffic Safety Committee to recommend this being done, not knowing any of the the cursory items that are happening around it as far as money spent and time spent and disruption. And the other thing that bothers me a little bit, supposedly, about 10 years ago, I think, John, you have to correct me, the state was coming in and sequencing the traffic lights on 102, so you could drive from exit 5 to Mammoth Road and get all green lights because they'd been sequenced in such a way that you wouldn't have red, green all the way. And every once in a while, you'll see the remnants of that at Mammoth Road when you see the arrows changed to take a left because it's resequencing itself to get back into sync. But I don't know what this crosswalk and lighting fixture will do to that system if it actually is in place.
Well,
So,
I can speak that we've had at least one fatality in the last 5 years in front of, basically of a Burger King, with somebody walking that was hit by a car. So, I mean, there are people that are walking and there are people that are in danger.
and I assume there's gonna be more of that as there's developments on Gilchrist and some of the other places happen. So I'm gonna call for someone to make a motion to make this, the Traffic Safety Committee approval on this.
Or support, right?
Yep,
They're looking for support.
looking support.
Yeah.
You wanna
I'll
make the,
motion.
wanna make the whole motion for the whoever's ever doing the typing?
I make a motion that the Traffic Advisory Committee recommend and support the installation of crosswalks and a more pedestrian accessible Route 102? Is that too much, or is
Nope,
that?
that's fine, I think. Second,
Okay, maybe not.
Second.
Dan? All in favor? Oh, any discussion?
Yeah, well, a couple things. I can vote, because I've never voted before.
Yep, you're on.
Okay. We're saying all of 102, are we talking about from Crossroads all the way to 93? Are we talking about specifically Gilchrist? How many intersections are we talking about? That's gonna drive cost, are
I
we
would-
talking about,
I would assume from the Market Basket to the post office. Sean?
So my suggestion is that you recommended to the town council to determine the feasibility of pedestrian crossings on Route 102.
Let me back up for a minute. You're on the committee. Why did you make the motion?
I'm not on the committee.
You're the town manager.
I understand that, but according to what you have here, I'm not on the committee. Because otherwise, I would have made the motion.
I guess that's why I wanna be clear about what it is we're voting on, to what extent are we talking about?
Excuse
'Cause-
excuse me for 1 minute. Mike was on the committee, and you're replacing Mike.
Yeah, but if you look at your charge, to the extent there is one, I don't see the town manager listed on there.
Unfortunately, you've got all my paperwork. Okay, I'll have to go back and take a look at that. But can you suggest a motion for
Yeah, so
Fred?
my suggestion is that the Traffic Safety Committee recommends to the town council to determine the feasibility of pedestrian crossings on Route 102. And then take any action deemed appropriate.
Okay. Second?
Do I need to withdraw?
I'll withdraw my
Yeah,
second.
Or do you want to vote again, vote this one down and we do the next one?
Yeah, okay. Well, nobody seconded, so I don't,
I did.
Did you?
I'll
Okay.
withdraw my
All-
second.
all in favor? No, we opposed it. So everybody's on, we're approving or opposing the motion that Fred made.
Correct.
Correct.
So everyone's opposed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion denied. Someone want to second Sean's motion for Fred?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion?
I think, again, David, like you're saying, you know, what's the limit of the study?
Yeah.
That's,
And that's what you're charging the council with, right?
Yep.
I highly doubt that it's feasible as well.
yeah,
You know, so, but that's for them to determine, correct?
correct.
Right, so,
And again, what the council
doesn't
was
hurt
looking
to-
for is approval of the Traffic Safety Committee. So that's what we're doing. We're saying, we agree with you, try to do this.
I mean, I think our overall charge is to make it safer for pedestrians and the traffic, and by encouraging them to
Walk
look
safely.
into this or to pursue it is something that's within our charge.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed?
I'll abstain, because I have to.
Okay. It passes. Traffic management policy, Sean?
Okay, so we drafted a traffic management policy for your consideration, and I'll just bring it up here. It's rather lengthy, has several different sections in it, through Appendix A.
Like 30 pages.
And what this does, the purpose of this traffic management policy is to have a streamlined process by which we receive complaints and how we look at traffic on our roadways and come up with a plan to address the issues that go along with that. And it's outlined in this policy here and the different measures that can be taken to resolve those issues. I think everybody has had a chance to review this.
Yes.
It's very comprehensive.
So the purpose here is to review this, provide any comment, make any recommended changes before I send it to the council for review and approval. This is basically a standard policy you see in other communities across the country. It's got the components thereof located within it.
It's certainly all-encompassing. And the only problem that I have on it is essentially, well, there's a number, because of the fact it's really hard to imbibe all of this stuff. But we don't show a central collecting individual for the way that the stuff comes before the Traffic Safety Committee to get onto the agenda. Up until this point of view, it came into the Chief of Police's secretary until she left. It would either came through the police department to myself, or to the town manager's office, or to the police station, and essentially they would feed it to me, and then eventually Susie would do the agenda. Now, since Susie has left, I've been doing the agenda, so it's been feeding into me. So right now, based on what I'm reading in your thing, I don't see any collection agent to one person who comes up with the agenda for the meeting. There's a number of ways they can bring it in. They can do the long form with having trouble with words today, with the application, for lack of a better word, or they can call and say they want to get on the board, or they actually can show up at the meeting based on past performances. So I don't see any central collection to see how we get it to the agenda.
So if you look on, let's see which page this is. It's section 5.0 under complaints, resident complaint request process. Submission of concerns. Residents can submit traffic complaints or suggestions through multiple channels. The town's online website form, and it's actually already up there. Written or in-person request. They can also submit a letter to the Department of Public Works or appear in person at Traffic Safety Committee meeting to voice their concerns. Complaints can also be relayed via by phone or email to the town officials, such as the DPW director, police department, or town manager's office, who will forward them to the appropriate channels. So there's a whole variety of ways, and the idea is to allow as many ways as possible for folks to express their concerns and get them to us.
And I agree with that, but who do they funnel it to get onto the agenda?
It goes to our office, and then
So it gets funneled to the town manager's secretary?
yes,
Okay,
she gets all the online complaint forms.
okay. And then she puts out the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Sean, can you look at that page I left open for you?
Yeah, that's not what's listed on your website, though.
Realize, but I'm saying, up until when Mike left, we've always had the town manager on the.
It would make sense to me.
Huh?
It makes sense to me.
Let me know what I have to do to get you on,
Well, I think this document covers that
okay,
from 2000.
okay? And that hasn't changed. The only thing that really changed is we picked up, Dave, and that probably has to be updated.
Well, it says Public Works Director, so he's there. The
Well, that's
person who's
been-
not there is the Chief of
Well,
Engineering.
he's been that for a while, so, and we kept it that way when Yanis left.
Yeah.
And Dave came on board. Anyway, that's where it is. So, she, from this point on, who's the secretary of the town manager, will be the funnel end, and she'll be doing the agenda,
Yes,
sending that online.
as she has done with this last meeting, yes.
I thought the policies related to the schools was very clear, very comprehensive, and something I could definitely support.
John?
Nope, nothing right now.
Oh, can we have, are you looking for an answer to adopt this tonight, or can we have some time and look at it again on October 6th?
You can if you need time, yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
well, I'm gonna ask all of them, I don't know. Anybody want to wait for a little bit to read this?
I read it, I think A10 was the only part that I had questions about.
A10?
And that was traffic calming devices. I'm just trying to,
I think on the traffic calming devices, I think, and Sean, correct me if I'm incorrect, I think what this is saying, these are the things available to us if
Right.
we choose to use them. If we don't choose to use them, then we don't have to use them. But this gives us a good overview of what's available to us if we choose to use them on our roadway.
Correct. These are the Federal Highway Administration. These are the traffic calm measures that are used commonly throughout the United States, Canada, and Europe.
So I'm gonna pull away. One of the ones you forgot was the squiggly line. There's a place in Virginia that they paint crooked lines down the main road, so you can't drive fast because the lines are so crooked, and
You sure that was on purpose, or?
they showed pictures,
meme or something?
they showed pictures, I think it was in Virginia someplace, and they showed pictures of this thing, and they said it
Yeah.
was 80% effective.
They also have them in Europe. England has those as well.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was just maybe somebody had too much to drink the night before, and when they were painting the next day, perhaps, I don't know. But the roadway markings is listed as one of the items on here, and that's one of them.
I've had a chance to review this, and I think it's
Well,
great.
I think what we need to do then essentially is I'll pull for a motion to accept this tonight, and if it passes, then we'll accept it.
Go ahead, Fred.
I made the last motion.
Don't be bashful, Don, Dan.
I'll make a motion that we accept the traffic
Management policy.
traffic management policy.
Make a second? So moved?
Dan, you got a second?
Yep.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it passes. Do you want to,
Public comment?
Quick question.
I'm surprised.
You want my name for the record? Okay, Robert LaBrue, 76 Hall Road. Is that proposed policy available for viewing online anywhere?
Yeah, it's on the website.
It is?
Yeah, it's part of the packet.
Okay, thank you.
It'll also be in the council packet too when it goes before the council.
Right. And somebody correct me if I misunderstood, but I believe what you just voted on was to advance this to council, right?
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
the only thing I'm gonna do on this is I'm gonna ask for an approval of the minutes from July 7th, because I don't wanna have to approve two meetings' minutes, because we're gonna have to approve the minutes for this meeting on October 6th. So I have a change to make to the minutes for July 7th, 2025. Kate McDonald wasn't here. I spoke for her, so I'd like to have Kate McDonald removed off the minutes as not being here. Then I'm going to call for a vote for the approval of the minutes for the July 7th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second.
Second. Fred? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Dan abstains because he was absent. I have, just so you people, Dan, I have copies of what I think the minutes are supposed to be for the next meeting. I haven't added on what we did tonight, so you can do that. I'll leave that for you there.
We still have item number 3.
No, I just want to let you know about that.
Okay.
Okay, Dan? I mean, Sean?
So item number 3, legislative advocacy plan. I met with John Stephen, Executive Counselor John Stephen, along with Vice Chair Faber, and Councilor Paul also, and Representative Perez, in regards to the Route 102 and Route 28 corridor studies. The state is looking at making about $400+ million cut to the 10-year highway plan due to shortfall in funding. That'll be rather significant. And it's important that we advocate for the few projects we do have here in town, because we don't have as many as other communities do have. So we have the roundabout at Stonehenge and Route 28. We have intersection improvements, and that's supposed to be happening next year, the actual construction work. We have the intersection of Routes 128, otherwise known as Mammoth Road, and Route 28, some sort of intersection improvements, whether it be a signalized intersection or a roundabout or something of that nature. That hasn't been determined yet, but that's scheduled for like 2028, 2030. The concern is a lot of projects are going to slip, get moved further back. Some are going to be cut, and some of those have already been talked about. Those are going to be cut. I want to make sure that ours do not get cut. We also have the synchronization of the traffic signals on 102, Chair, as you talked about. That's actually in the 10-year highway plan as well. I think it's next year or the year after. Both Route 111 and Route 102 have that synchronization of all the lights along there is supposed to occur. So that is a project in there.
I'm amazed because I thought that had already been done years ago.
It had not, no. Not all the lights. Some of them have, but not all of them. The ones further.
Why does the traffic light on Mammoth and 102 go through a change every once in a while when it looks like it's resequencing?
There's a number of issues, and I talked to John about this too. If the one at Gilcrest, if you're coming home late at night, which I sometimes do from these meetings, it'll go through 3 or 4 cycles and you can't get across the road. So I don't know what the issue is, but there's issues with these signals and they need some work. So there's that. There's also the Stokes Road Bridge, which is scheduled for reconstruction as well. And whether or not that should be wrapped into the intersection improvements that they make at Route 128 and 28 would make some degree of sense. At least it should be looked at. And then there's the corridor studies. There's a corridor study that's listed for Route 28 and Route 102. The Route 28 one is in the top 10. The Route 102 corridor study is in the top 25. The feeling is that anything below 10 will not get done. So we strongly advocated for the Route 102 corridor study. The Route 102 corridor study is the prelude to having any potential projects, for instance, whether it be pedestrian crossings or other improvements that might occur along that roadway. So it's important that we get that corridor study done and it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. And in the packet, it shows you those projects in the list that are there. So we advocated for that to be moved up on the list and certainly not cut and certainly not pushed back. So that's sort of a summary of the discussions we had with Executive Counselor Stephen, and that's going to be very difficult when they have to cut $400 million out of that 10-year highway plan. But we need to advocate for what we need in our community, the safety issues. There's an RSA study going on right now for Route 102, or at least a portion of it, which will be helpful, but that's very limited in scope and doesn't generally lead to 10-year highway projects. So those communities that strongly advocate for themselves tend to get money. Those who do not tend not to get that money. So that's been my experience with the 10-year highway plan. We need to have a very proactive advocacy approach if we want these things done in our community. We want the state to do the things on their roadways that are necessary to deal with traffic safety and certainly traffic congestion. Our community is getting larger. The communities around us continue to get larger. The growth is significant, and those impacts will continue to grow. They are not going to go away. And we've got to continue to advocate for that strongly for those needs. Otherwise, that money will go to other communities. So that's sort of the explanation for number 3.
What do you need us to do? Just
I don't necessarily need you to do anything. It's more to keep you in the loop as to what's going on. These are the things that I am doing with our elected officials, that being our town council, to advocate for that. The other thing I'm going to be looking to do is create a transportation fund in the budget next year so we can have money to do engineering studies, which we have no money to do. We have some major intersections that are on our roads, and I say our roads, the town roads, and there is no plan for those. We don't know what the level of failure is on those roads. No studies. That's kind of not common. We should be knowing what like the intersection of Litchfield Road and High Range Road, for instance, Auburn Road and Old Dairy Road, and Pillsbury and Gilcrest with Hardy Road. Those are heavily traveled intersections, have a number of traffic issues just by making the observations, and there are no traffic studies to see what level of service they're actually functioning at right now, and what improvements are gonna be needed in the future to make those flow effectively and deal with the safety issues.
Is High Range Road, after they finish this fiasco that's going on it now, going to be on the list for repaving? Because it's a horror show where they've already done the pipes.
There is no list for repaving, just so you know.
Okay.
There's this myth that there's a 5-year or 10-year plan for the town. There isn't. We're working on having a list so we know what roads are gonna be paved next. But we don't have a pavement condition index. We don't have a 5-year pavement plan. We don't have a pavement strategy. We do repave roadways, but we don't do any of the other strategies that are in place that we could be to extend the life of roads. That's we're in the process of doing that with an asset management program that we're starting to put into place, which will start in October. But that's gonna take a while to get all that built out, but then we'll have a plan. So I can't guarantee you from one year to the next what road we're gonna pave next.
One of the things that was brought up to me before I came to the meeting this morning, a little bit aside, is I don't know if you've been in High Range Road.
I have.
It's in really bad shape where they've done the thing, and I would assume that Dave is gonna have a hell of a time plowing that thing with the way, if it's left the way it is now, so I would assume we should be taking a long look. I don't know how long it's gonna take, and I assume they're going all the way to the airport,
No,
to Litchfield,
Royal Lane.
to Royal Lane? Okay,
right
so-
now.
Yeah, so what you see out there today, Bob, is a temporary patch.
Oh, I understand that,
Yeah, so before snow flies.
but it's it's September, and we're closing in on November fairly quickly, so I've got a number of people who live on the road. It's a mixed blessing in some ways. The traffic on High Range Road has slowed down drastically. So they kind of feel a little bit badly, but at the same time, they're a little bit concerned about some of the stuff that they see when they, where it butts against their land and so forth. So I just thought I'd brought it up. Excuse me, Sean.
Yeah, no, that's the explanation of that item. And again, it's gonna be up to the community if we wanna advocate for these things in our community. One of the things we don't have is we don't have an urban compact here. Derry does. Most other communities do of our size. We don't have that. We have a very small area up by the airport. Grenier Field Road, I think, is the only piece. So we don't have that responsibility for state-owned roads like most communities of our size, which is odd, but it's also a good thing, because then we'd have to pay for 20% of the cost of the maintenance of state roads. But we don't have that here. So this is solely on the state, these roadways, and we've got to advocate for the improvements if we want them, or not.
Anything else, Sean?
That is it.
I'm gonna go back to old business for a minute. Jason and Fred, if you get phone calls about Traffic Safety Committee, are you aware of the person you're supposed to call based on what we just heard? They won't be sending it to Paul's extension anymore?
Oh, yes, yep, that went out department-wide, yes,
So anybody that gets a call on traffic safety, we route it into Tanya.
yes.
Okay. I went online today. It involves the Traffic Safety Committee, but I tried a couple of other things. When you go online and I go traffic safety, it gives a list of the members on the Traffic Safety Committee,
Yes.
and it has each one of the names with an email underneath it. When I clicked on all the members of the Traffic Safety Committee, it didn't go through, it just sat there. And I tried Sherry, it went right to Sherry's email, and I tried a couple of others, and it didn't go to them either. I think I tried the library trustees, and I'm not sure, but I know I tried us, and on my computer, and I'm on Microsoft Edge. It didn't click, but it did click on Sherry's.
Yeah, it just popped up online. I just clicked on Council Bouchard's, popped right in.
Yeah, but did you try the traffic safety can try it for me?
Yeah, I tried it from the website. That's what I'm clicking on right now. I'm clicking from the website, and
I typed in Traffic Safety Committee, and it brought up the thing, and then I scrolled down to where the names were, and it said email underneath it.
when I click on your name, it shows up with your TOL board's email address.
Funny, I'll have to bring my computer in and figure out why it's not doing it. It's a Hewlett Packard and it was Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll check with MIS too and see if they can figure out what it is. I guess that's about it. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up?
Can we discuss meeting more often by any chance? Because
We
it seems to me like, you know, people make a complaint, an issue, and it takes a long time before we can address that.
We've discussed a number of times, and I'll give you my feeling on it.
Yep.
We can vote on it. We've discussed a number of times about, Sean? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. We've discussed it a number of times about meeting more often, and my feeling has been, it doesn't gain us a lot because of the fact when we meet once a quarter, a lot of the stuff that we're discussing essentially takes a number of weeks to solve, either because it's going to the town council, or in the winter it's because we can't put the signs in because of the frost and a number of other things. And essentially, I've felt that we get more done when we meet once a quarter, and we also, when we thought about having it more often, we tend to have the same people coming in with the same problems, wondering why they haven't been solved. And I just can't see any, and this is my feeling, I can't see any reason to have any more meetings than we already have. And the 4 quarters seem to be working out, and a lot of the stuff, and maybe it's changing somewhat, I was able to solve because they'd call me about it, and I'd explain to certain things why I could or couldn't be doing, whether or not Paul's gonna do that, or whether we'll be able to do it based on the way the stuff is getting pulled into the system. So I just don't see any real gain with it, but it's up to you guys whether you wanna meet more often or not.
My only concern is that it seems like traffic is a big issue in our community. And when you have somebody that makes a complaint, and if we're a service industry and we should be getting back to those people quickly, and to say we're gonna have to wait a couple months for it to be addressed at the Traffic Safety Committee, I just think we should look at it and maybe meet more often.
Let me ask Sean a question. Sean, when the Traffic Safety Committee got a call about speeding on a road, and they want to come before the council, or before the Traffic Safety Committee and talk about it, invariably, I would call either Jason or Kim and say, hey, we've got a problem here, and they would go out and do the roving repole situation, and it was taken care of that way. I'm not sure, I don't see any reason why, if Tanya gets a call like that, she can't go and call the police and say, hey, here's a person that's having a problem on the road, and I think Kim gets back to them in some cases, depending on the severity of it, and I think that's worked in the past, and I think that would take care of it. But most of our problems are speeding and vehicle problems. And having this meeting every month or twice, instead of 4 times a year, have it 6 times a year, I don't think you're gonna gain if we have that kind of a system in place that allows people to get their complaint about the speeding or dangerous driving or any of those things that might come before the council, before the Traffic Safety Committee. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. And if you wanna make a motion to ask about this, I think we can, we can talk about it in the next meeting in October.
Okay.
But I just think I don't see it producing anything better than what we're already doing.
It's just I looked at the traffic management policy, and it's like there's a lot of stuff there that we could be probably addressing and trying to help the community. That's all.
I understand. And again, it's a valid question. Debbie Paul's brought it up a number of times, and essentially, I just feel like I don't see what we gain by having 6 or 8 meetings. Once a month, I don't see it all.
Yep.
My only concern is that we have better time management with people that make presentations, because we have a hard stop at 7, and we've run against that a number of times.
Yep.
And it's not fair to the council, and it's not fair to the people that come here and have an issue that they want to address.
Yep.
So, that's my only concern with the way we're running it now.
And again, one of the reasons we had this meeting, the way we've had it, was in consideration of the council, because we figured it's nice to have a dead stop at 7 o'clock, and it's also nice not to have the people have to come to an extra meeting. Especially something that seems to have been working. We've never really delayed the council meeting. We've come close, but we've never really delayed the council meeting. And again, that depends, and I'm not tooting my own horn, that depends on who's running the meeting and how good they are taking care of the management of the meeting. So I think this is something I can put on the agenda, Sean can have put on the agenda for next time, and we can think about it and decide whether we want to vote on it or not.
I would agree with you, Dan, as far as, you know, like, having the traffic management policy.
Yeah,
Again, yeah, we're seeing all those tools that we're gonna have.
right.
But again, it's still gonna take some time to decipher, you know, what is the appropriate solution.
Yep.
You know, that and also money for an outside consultant
Sure.
to assist us with looking at this stuff as well.
Yep.
So,
And again, the other thing is, if you feel that these meetings are gonna get longer and we can still accomplish it every quarter, and again, don't misunderstand me. I'm not gonna be around much longer, so it's not something that I'm trying to get out of them. I'm getting old, I'm getting to the point where maybe I won't be able to figure out what I'm talking about, so I don't wanna. So maybe it's better we have this meeting on a different night than the council. That way it could run longer. So you've got a decision, you can either leave it the way it is, you can have more meetings, or you can change it in an interim basis and have it on a different night and see if that solves the problem.
So we'll discuss it next month.
Yep, I'll have it on the agenda.
Appreciate it. Thank
Sean, will
you.
you get that on the agenda?
Will do.
And can I welcome you to the committee now?
It appears you can.
Someone want to make a motion?
make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Right?
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.